You know, you gotta sift through it, man. You gotta filter through the scriptures. All right. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Like this is one of his favorite scriptures, man. And once I found out about this scripture, you know, it became one of my favorite scriptures. That's about the Illuminati, man. You know, they sit in the lurking places of the villages, meaning they're hidden, man. You know, up until recently when information started to come out, but you know, they're the people behind the curtain. You know, they're the hand that moves you dummies, man. You puppets on the strings. All right. You know, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. Who's the innocent? The Israelites, man. Because we're innocent from the beginning, man. You know, whether we be going off now, who gives us these things? Who gives us drugs in the neighborhoods? You know, pumps drugs, gives us guns, started these gangs. Because niggas ain't start no gangs, man. All these gangs, whether it be Crips, Bloods, Vice Lords, Serenos, all these gangs, look at their hand gestures, look at their graffiti. You're gonna find symbols, satanic symbols that the elites use. How the hell did that come about? Alright? So this devil, he murders the innocent, man. You know? That his eyes are privily set against the poor. Who's the poor? I ain't gotta say nothing, man. Those are Jakes, Israelites, alright? He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. Like this devil came to the Gadites all humble and meek. Help us, we're gonna starve, we're gonna die in this winter. They helped them. In the fucking spring they had bullshit Thanksgiving. What they do? They killed them. That's the real history, man. Alright, when you study your information, you know your history, and not just being fucking tantalized by a fucking a pie, you know, some damn turkey. Oh, I gotta go to Thanksgiving. I'm gonna have a fucking nice turkey, some cranberry. Fucking devils, man. You know what that represents, man. The cranberry represents the blood, man, the bloodshed. All right. So reading on verse 11, it says, "He had said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face; he will never see it." It's been so long, like in Ecclesiastes, when basically paraphrasing, when the wicked. Try to find, but when the wicked do wickedness, that's the spirit right here, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. These devils, it's been since 1453, you know, when the Turks got Constantinople. 1492 were key years when they got Granada. You know, Spain, and then they came over this side of the world, started killing the Native Americans. You know, then around 1620, the bulk of Negroes from the west coast of Africa, they came to this side of the world, and they did all kinds of atrocities. Nothing happened to them. We're in the year 2012. You know, Esau's not really getting his whips right now, so he's like the Most High forgotten. You know, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged. Yeah, this devil, he does sin, man. You know, you can't count how much sins he did, man. But this is what these records are for, to bring it out. All right, and his days be prolonged. And this is what the prophets ask. Why is this devil, you know, his days are prolonged? Why is he in this? Why is he so luxurious? You know, that's what David asks. Job, same thing. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. You know, at the end of the day, you devils are gonna get yours, man. You can do whatever, man. Scoff, you can humiliate us, you can chastise us, you can persecute us, torture us, whatever you want to do, man. But at the end of the day, Yahweh Shem Yoshai is gonna put forth his judgment, man. You know, and then there's no turning back. Alright? So back to Psalms 10 and verse 12. It says, this is David now, right? It says, "Arise, O Lord, O power, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble." Who are the humble? The Israelites. Alright? "Wherefore doeth the wicked contemn the Most High? He had said in his heart, thou wilt now require it." Alright? Yeah, that was it on that. And also want to go to Psalms 36, verse 1 to 4. And it says, "The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart that there is no fear of God before his eyes." So these devils, they don't fear the Most High. There's no fear of the Most High, That's why they go into logical reasoning, man. Atheism, evolution, Big Bang Theory. Mocking the Most High by putting up the devil Caesar Borgia. That's a spit in the that's a slap in the Most High's face, saying, "Listen, this is what we're gonna do with your son. We're gonna paint him white, and we're gonna portray him as a guy that fucking killed his brother, slept with his sister, liar, murderer, faggot, incest. All right. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful." This devil portrays himself to be the most holy person ever, man. The white man, the great white man. The big philanthropist, man. The big, all kinds of donations, charities, greatest, economy, inventors. He flatters himself, but his iniquity be found hateful, man. All that shit is really, man. That's a big illusion, man. All right. Verse 3: "The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He had left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil." So these devils upon their bed, they go to sleep thinking, what the hell we're going to do to these niggas and spics? What are we going to do to destroy them, to destroy their community? To just totally take away their heritage. And also I want to go to the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10. It's a good scripture as well. Chapter 12 and verse 10. And it says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Alright, so like iron rusts, iron can't go back to being how it used to be, after a while, this and that, the rain goes on it's gonna rust, and you can't really take that rust off. So this devil, no matter what happens, he's like that iron, man. He's always gonna rust, and you can't turn him back. And that's really, man, that's a beautiful thing, because the Most High, it tells you that he meaneth not so, nor doeth heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy, to cut off nations, not a few. The Most High programmed him to be this way, Verse 11: "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed." Yeah, like this devil, I'm so humble, please help me, we're gonna die. You know how this devil is, man. Alright, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh unto wild beasts?" Meaning, who's gonna pity you when you play with fire and you get your ass burned, man? These are all analogies. Who's gonna pity you when you go fuck around with a lion and try to tease him, and then that lion fucking bites your head off, man? So, hey, man, but it is set up anyway, but this is good scripture, "So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit." Alright, "He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first." Alright, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he be undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Alright, like these fucking white people, these devils, man. Okay, now let's go to another document, Scalping History. This is from a website called www.spartacus.schoolnet.co.uk/wwscalping.htm. Alright. I'm gonna read it. It says, the removal of the skin covering the top of a person's head during or after a battle dates back to the Scythians, 400 BC. The Visigoths also took scalps during the wars with the Anglo-Saxons in the 9th century. When the Europeans first visited America, they observed that the Huron, Chichimec, Iroquois, and the Muskogean tribes scalped enemy warriors. The Spanish administrator of Mexico, Francisco de Guerra, reported in 1520 of seeing the cutting of the skin off the entire head and face with hair and beard. However, there is no evidence that the majority of Native American tribes at this time were involved in scalping. Alright? In 1688, the French Canadians began paying for every enemy scalp. This encouraged the emergence of groups trying to make a business out of scalping settlers. The British responded in 1693 by announcing that they would pay money for the scalps of Frenchmen and their Indian allies. As much as £100 was obtained for an important scalp. Alright, down here, so the policy of scalping spread to the Americans during the 19th century, and they paid bounties for the scalps of troublesome tribes such as the Apache. The idea of scalping as an act of revenge was adopted by the Plains tribes during the Indian Wars. See, by revenge. Alright. This is in retaliation. It says Native American tribes used scalping to persuade Americans from abandoning the idea of taking their land. Nelson Lee was unlucky enough to be captured by the Comanche tribe. During all the time they were thus exhibiting the result of their savage work, they resorted to every hideous device to inspire us with terror. They would rush toward us with uplifted tomahawks, stained with blood, as if determined to strike, or grasp us by the hair, flourishing their knives around our heads as though intending to take our scalps. So far as I could understand their infernal shouts and pantomime, they sought to tell us that the fate which had overtaken our unfortunate companions not only awaited us, but likewise the whole race of the hated white man. Alright? All the dead, without exception, were scalped, and the scalps, still fresh, were dangled from their belts. Alright? And let's go to book of 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 25. It says, "Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape, and see my salvation and the end of your world. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed, and turneth into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which has been so long without fruit, shall be declared." You know, and that's slowly being declared right now, man. The truth is, you know, through the spirit and grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is really being revealed, man. You know, it's coming to pass. All these devils, their skirt is being lifted up. You know? This is from an article called "Who Scalped Whom?" Historians suggest Indians were as much victims as perpetrators, by Diane E. Foods. Alright, as monuments go, the one depicting colonial heroine Hannah Dustin looks like any other, with one crucial exception. In her left hand, she holds a fistful of human scalps. The inscription underneath tells of her 1697 capture in an Indian raid, and how she slew her captors as they slept, 10 women and children. Later she returned for their scalps, having remembered they could fetch a bounty. The idea of a settler scalping Indians might seem like a historical quirk. Most Americans assume that if there was any scalping going on in colonial times, the Indians were doing it, not the English. Alright?